Hi, Corey Feldman here, and you're watching Actors Reporter.
Kurt Kelly from Live Video Inc. and Actors Reporter with Corey Feldman, a legend. How have
Thank
you
you,
been?
thank you. Allegedly, a legend.
Okay, a legend in everyone's mind. So
Yeah.
how have you been? It's been a long time.
Good. I've just been working like crazy, working like a dog.
Are you still doing bands? You're
I'm doing
writing,
it all.
directing?
I'm
What's
doing it
new?
all. I'm hitting every single possible potential outreach capable of anything in the marketing world.
Okay.
So literally on any form of media right now, we're hitting all levels from recording.
Right.
I have a studio in my house, recording my own solo album, working with great producers like Rick One from Black Eyed Peas,
Wow.
Fred
Congratulations.
Durst, talking actually to Snoop Dogg. I mean, just kind of all over the map as far as the music scene right now. So I've got like 5 new films coming out right now. The first to be released is coming out at the end of this month. It's called 6 Degrees of Hell. That's the first one. Then we got The M Word,
Okay.
which is the new Henry Jaglom movie. I've got another film coming out at the end of the year in the UK called The Zombie King. Then Zombex, another movie, which is with Malcolm McDowell and Sid Haig. Great little cult movie there.
Right.
And then this other movie that I'm here at the market for, which is called Exposure, which we just finished in Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
And this is all about like models and the model agency scene, and actually ties in very well to the whole thing that I'm doing with Corey's Angels. And we're getting ready to do a sequel to that movie next year, early next year, which is going to be called Double Exposure, which I am set to direct and star in, and then we're going to incorporate Corey's Angels in that. On top of all that, I'm also setting up a play to do my first ever West End show, which is going to be premiering in the UK early spring. And it's kind of it's probably the funniest script I've ever read. It's called White Lies,
Okay.
and I play a character named Joe White. And again, we're incorporating this Corey's Angels thing into that, and
this will be a live stage production.
a live stage production with the girls, with me. It's a very, very funny script, kind of a comedy tone similar to The Producers, except it's about a womanizing, manipulative divorce attorney who's got hot and cold running women and, sells them all a bill of goods.
Sounds like where we live.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, it's literally like nonstop. I'm just a machine right now. I got so much going on. It's ridiculous.
Now, are you actually taking time to write scripts too?
Yeah,
in addition
well,
to
I'm going to be co-writing the sequel to Exposure. But what I've always done in general is I generally take every script that I get and I do a polish on it.
Okay.
So I'll kind of rework it. I at least rewrite all the dialogue for my character. That's just the way that I do things. So like even on the M Word, Henry Jaglom would come in with, the blueprint, and you'd say, okay, here you go. Now you guys kind of write the scene as it goes.
Nice.
So that's kind of the format that I've been using a lot for many, many years now. I mean, I always kind of take the script, I rewrite it, I make it my own. And especially if I'm on as a producer, and then of course if I'm directing, then I definitely have to rewrite everybody's parts, because you really want to make sure that it feels authentic and real. I mean, to me that's the key, is to make sure that all the characters really have a life beyond the movie, that they're not just there for the purpose of the movie, but they feel like they've got a history, a past, and a present, and a future, and they become alive, they become real entities.
Do you see at some point the Angels becoming some kind of recurring 360 television?
You never know.
Episodic?
You never know.
Okay.
Anything is possible with that brand. That's the thing that's so beautiful about it, is what we're really doing is we're taking girls who are gorgeous, beautiful, Playboy model type girls.
Right.
And they're in that setting, but then we're finding something better, which is they've got to have talents. They've got to be, we're looking really for triple threats. Girls that can sing, act, and dance. They've got to be stunningly gorgeous.
Right.
And then we're going to give them showcases. We're going to find places to put them, whether it's in a film, whether it's in a play, whether it's in a TV show, whether they're singers. If they're a singer, we'll help produce their music. We'll help get them a single, get them out there on the radio. Exposure.
Nice.
Across the board.
So are you open to receiving productions? If people wanted to contact you and say, hey, I want you to look at my film or script,
absolutely.
what's
We
the
get
best way
films
for
set
them
up
to do
all
that?
the time. Well, they can always go through my management, which
Right.
is Scott Carlson Entertainment. He's my co-producer on a lot of my ventures. Or they can go to Corey Feldman Incorporated, look us up.
Right.
We're out there.
Yeah,
But the
definitely.
best way to do it really is to always, amazing the world of social media.
Yes.
the social media, the social networking is really where the top of it all is now. Because, like, for example, I've got CoreyFeldman.net, then we've got the Facebook, we've got the Twitter, blah, 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 right? Everybody does. Now we've got Corey's Angels, and that's got its own Facebook, its own Twitter, its own, you know what I mean?
It's taking on its own identity.
Yeah. So it's like this whole kind of world of social media is great, because what happens is people hit me up on Facebook, they send me a message, hey, I've got a script I really want you to read, or oh, I've got a production that I really want you to be a part of, or can you help me get this movie financed, or whatever it is.
Right.
They contact me through Facebook, through Twitter.
So you actually read your own
Absolutely,
email.
and I respond to people that actually tweet to me. So everybody always says to me,
Nice.
it's so rare to find somebody that's well known that actually responds to their fans. I don't just blow it off. I sit there and I read every single tweet as much as I can.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, when you're doing live television, it comes in fast and furious, and there's like 1,000 per minute or something. You can't obviously get to them all, but for the most part, I do get through as many of them as I can. And it's turned into, you know, this kind of great, like, a great reach. It's an outreach, really, to the fans themselves, because in that fan base, there are beautiful girls who are talented, who can be those models. There are producers, you know, hopeful producers, you know, actual producers, writers, directors, creative entities that just need to find a way to get to you. And sometimes they just don't know how to go through IMDb, which is, of course, the easiest way to find your representation out there. But, you know, if they're not that savvy, they don't know how to do it, they can always go through the social networking, and I will, if I find them, if I see them, then I will put them in touch with the right people. So,
what project are you looking for that you haven't done yet? What's on the top of your radar, if you could pick something?
well, I really want to be a part of the new Star Wars franchise.
Okay.
That's
We'll get that
really the biggest thing that I see coming up in the next 10 years is, aside from all the things that I'm doing, creating, I want a piece of somebody else's franchise as well.
Right.
So, you know, we were very successful with the Lost Boys franchise.
Absolutely.
You know, we did 3 of those films. We're also talking about possibly dipping back into the Friday the 13th franchise a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love, love, love to get my hooks into a piece of the Star Wars franchise, just to be an actor in it. Just, I don't need to produce or anything like that. I just want to be in it.
Is there going to be a Lost Boys 4?
Not at this time.
Okay.
You know, Warner Premiere folded, so
Okay.
with the closing of Warner Premiere, I don't know, the future of the Lost Boys franchise looks bleak. I think we were the kind of, you know, shiny star on their map.
Certainly.
So when they close down, I don't know where the home for Lost Boys would be, but we'll see.
Maybe they'll be adopted at some point in the future.
You never know.
Great to see you again.
Merging
Thank you
ventures.
so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm Kurt Kelly for Actors Reporter and Live Video Inc. We'll be back with more from AFM in a moment.